I chose to focus on Mary Harris Jones, and more specifically, her fight for child labor. She was known to do many things, and because she was a woman and she was a leader, she was almost a rarity for that time. She started off as a school teacher and then a dressmaker, and then when her shops burnt down in the Chicago fire, she decided to join unions and then began to hold stands in there. And she was the type of person that you would bring in to hold a rally or a strike and bring the crowd together and find some unity. But her main focus of her own was child labor. And I think that's really inspiring because of the so many things, this wasn't fought over that often for a long time, and she was at the forefront of that. And I could never myself being working in a factory to support my family at these harsh labors. I read this particular document because I think it gave a lot of room for interpretation as well as some flair to it. It shows the insight into the lives of children instead of just seeing how the factory works itself, which is really interesting because you get a first person perspective. And it also has some flair with its syntax, allowing to give some drama to it and be like that rally cry that it needs. And it also has a political aspect to demonstrate how the factory owners are able to sway votes. So in the document it says how they were voting over child labor hours per day, and originally there was a state law that was 8 hours, and they were trying to get it moved to 12. And that vote ended up being 57-3 for it. And that was because the factory was able to say, we'll do it because they're providing space in the economy. I performed it the way I did because it has so much interpretation to it, because it was originally a publication. So I thought, okay, what does she normally do? She does rally cries, she does strikes. And what do they usually have at the end of strikes or rally cries or protests? They have a person speaking out to the crowd like, yes, this is what we want to accomplish, just as a reminder. And I thought they're usually on a podium, so I'll go on a podium. And I used the diction the way I did because like how Joan speaks on the only one recording that we have for her, she's very slow and uses her words carefully and with choice, and the way that a great, amazing political speaker has. And I want to try to imitate that, but we only have one recording with her, so of course that led some room for interpretation again. And I had to use a black and white filter because if I was thinking, if I wanted to really become her, then there would be no color video of her, which means the only video that we have should be black and white.